Okay, everybody kindly stand up. I will call Mr. Mersa to please lead our prayer. So come here in front. Amen. Okay, so before you take your seat, kindly arrange your chairs properly and remove some piece of paper under your chairs. And you may now take your seat. Okay, so Miss Secretary, is there any absentees for today? Okay, very good. Perfect attendance. So, class, do you remember I gave you an assignment last meeting? Okay, so everybody kindly pass it forward and I will collect it later on. Okay, so let's have a brief review about our last topic in our last meeting. So, who among you remember our last discussion? Yes, Mr. Agulucho. Okay, very good. So, what is disposal of farm chemicals? Okay, very good. So, what are the environmental law for disposal of chemicals? Okay, very good, Mr. Agulucho. It seems that all of you class listen in our last discussion. So, today we are going to play a fun games called Feed Frenzy. So, you will guess the correct answer for this jumbled letter. Is that clear, class? Okay, so seems it's now clear to you. So, for first jumbled letter, who wants to answer? Yes, Mr. Achansa. Okay, very good. It is a broiler. Next. Yes, Mr. De Los Santos. Okay, very good. It is a starter feed. Third one. Yes, Miss Guerrero. Okay, very good. It is a grower feed. Next, Mr. Kaganan. Okay, very good. It is a finisher feed. Okay, the fifth one, Mr. Macalalong. Okay, very good. It is a restricted feeding. Next. Yes, Mr. Legaspi. Okay, very good. It is a ad libitum feedings. Next one. Yes, Mr. Henteroy. Okay, very good. It is a types of feeding. The last one, who wants to answer? Yes, Miss Alaras. Okay, very good. It is a feeding method. So, give yourself a round of applause. Okay, so our topic for today is about animal production. So, are you ready to listen, class? Okay, so if you are ready, everyone, please sit properly and listen carefully. So, your cell phone are not allowed during the class. Is that clear, class? So, before we start to our discussion for today, let me present to you our objectives that we need to meet at the end of the lesson. So, everyone, for our objectives for today, our objectives for today, at the end of the lesson, the students should be able to identify the different kinds of feeds and its estimation and calculation and its advantage and disadvantages. The second one is estimate quantities, resources, and time requirements in animal production. Third one is develop a comprehensive understanding of the material and resources required for animal production. So, is that clear, class? Okay. Types of feed. So, the first one is starter feeds. So, starter feeds is common apply for chicks. So, Mr. Valencia, can you please read starter feed? Okay, thank you. So, starter feed, the advantage of giving starter feed for chicks is starter feed is formulated to meet the specific nutritional needs for chicks during their early stage of life. So it contains a high percentage of protein, which is 18% crude protein, and digestible energy, which is 3,250 calories. So it is necessary for their rapid growth and developmental of chicks. Also, starter feed, since the chicks grow rapidly during their first few weeks of life, and starter feed provide essential nutrients to support this growth. So without proper nutrition, during this critical period, chicks may experience stunted growth or health issues. Is that clear, class? Okay, next is the grower feed. Who wants to read? Okay, Miss Alaras? Okay, thank you. Grower feed. So grower feed is feed introduced when a pig or pigs are around 5 weeks. So commonly grower feeds is applied to pigs. So if a pig is around 5 weeks old and have transition from their early liquid diet, which is milk, so grower feed is especially formulated to meet the nutritional requirements of feed during their growing phase. Typically from around 5 weeks old until they reach the certain weight, it contains higher level of protein, which is 15% of crude protein, and energy, which is 3,200 kilocalories, to support the pig's rapid growth development during their stage. Also, grower feeds, it promotes growth. So the balanced composition of grower feeds provide essential nutrition to support the muscle development, bone growth, and overall body weight gain. So this helps the pig to reach the target weight efficiently and prepares them to their next stage of their growth, which is the finisher phase. So there's a specific feed that we need to apply in a finisher phase of a pig. So which are the finisher feeds? So who wants to read? Yes, Miss Arquines. Okay, thank you. So as the pigs approach market weight is around 60 kilograms. So their nutritional requirement change. So finisher feeds is designed to meet these needs of pigs during the finishing phase. So helping them to reach their optimal weight for sale. So which is still providing a good source of protein. So it is very necessary for a pig to reach their specific kilogram that the market needs. So if they reach that kind of weight, you will going to have a successful animal production for your pigs. Is that clear, class? Okay, the next one is method of feeding. So the pig's growth output is influenced not only by the quantity and quality of feeds provided, but also the feeding methods. So the way we feed the pigs affect how they grow, or just the type of amount of food they get. When it comes to finishing pigs, there are 3 main feeding methods. So the first one is restricted feeding. Who wants to read? Okay, Mr. Agulucho. Okay, thank you. So restricted feeding, it involves giving animals a limited amounts of feeds. So typically, less than they can consume. So the feed is not available to the animal 24/7. So it provides for a specific period. So usually it is a long feeding through where all animals eat at the same time. So the true or the true tray should be long enough to for accommodation of animals comfortably during the feeding. So a common guideline for restricted feeding is to empty the tray within 15 or 20 minutes. So if the feeds is given as a slab, so the amount of feed given is adjusted based on the growth rate of the animals. Is that clear, class? Okay, so the next one is ad libitum feeding. Who wants to read? Okay, Miss Guerrero. So, thank you. Ad libitum feeding, also known as a free choice feeding, allow animals to eat whenever they want. So, this is, have you ever experienced, class, that you have a pig and it is not in a piggery but it is in a wide environment, which is they are freely to eat whatever they want and what time they will eat. So if you experience that, so you probably not notice that you are using this kind of method, which is ad libitum feeding. So this feeding is commonly used also for broilers and farming. So where the goals is to maximize body weight gain. So it's simple system to manage. So as feed can be provided for several without needing daily monitoring. However, it's essential to use dry feeds to prevent spoilage. So and feeders should be cleaned regularly to maintain feed quality. So providing continuous access to fresh and clean water is crucial when using ad libitum feeding. So as water intake increases with this feeding method. Is that clear, class? Okay, so let's proceed to the combination of ad libitum and restricted feeding. So who wants to read? Yes, Mr. Maniw. Okay, thank you. So, in this approach, pigs are initially fed ad libitum until they reach the certain weight. So, typically 15 kilograms or up high, about 50 kilograms. So, after reaching this weight, so they are switched to a restricted feeding. Is that clear, class? So, as you monitor from a restricted feeding, from ad libitum feeding, once they reach the certain goal of weight you want, you are going to apply a restricted feeding for them. So these methods aim to maximize growth potentially during the early stages, while controlling back flat thickness and increasing the yield of lean meat. So it combines the benefits of both ad libitum and restricted feeding to optimize growth and meet the quality. Is that clear, class? Okay, very good. So for this time, you are going to compute a FCR. So FCR is a food conversion ratio. You are going to estimate the food that you are given to your animals. So I will give example problem and I will also explain how to compute FCR. So here is the problem. In a poultry farm groups of 100 chickens was fed a total of 500 kilograms of feed over a period of 8 weeks. So during this time, the total weight gain of all the chickens was measured to be 300 kilograms. So calculate the feed conversion ratio or FCR for this group of chickens. So the solution will be given total amount of feed given. is 500 kilograms total, and the total weight gains of animals is 300 kilograms. So the formula is finding FCR is FCR equals total amount of feed given over total weight gain of animals. Is that clear, class? Okay, so you are going to put 500 kilograms, which is the total amount of feed given, over 300 kilograms, which is the total amount of gain weight. So the answer is 1.67 FCR. So the feed conversion ratio, or FCR, for the group of chickens is 1.67. So in the context of feed conversion ratio, or FCR, a value of 1.67 represent the amount of feed required to produce 1 unit of gain in animals. So specifically, it means that for every 1 kilogram of weight gain by the animals, it needs 1.67 kilograms of feed were consumed. Is that clear, class? Okay, so I will give another problem and you are going to answer it. So here, is that clear, class? Okay. So another example is on a pig farm, a group of 50 pigs was fed a total of 2,000 kilograms of feed over a period of 12 weeks. During this time, the total weight gain of all the pigs was measured to be 1,500 kilograms. So calculate the feed conversion ratio for the group of pigs. So the solution is here, class. So total amount of feed given equals total 2,000 kilograms, and the total weight gain of the animals is 1,500 kilograms. So now, class, you are going to calculate it. Okay, time's up. So what are your answer? Okay, correct. The answer is 1.33 FCR. So it represents that if in order for pigs to grow 1 kilogram of weight gain, they need to consume a 1.33 kilograms of feed. So is that clear, class? Okay, so we may now proceed to our next discussion. Okay, the advantages and disadvantages of restricted feeding. So as you can see in the screen, here is the advantage and disadvantage of restricted feeding. So I am going to discuss to you the content of it in summary. So advantages of restricted feeding, you are controlled the growth of animals. So with restricted feeding, you have more control over the growth rate of the animals, so which can be beneficial for managing weight gain and ensuring optimal development. So another advantages is cost efficiency. So since the amount of feed given is controlled, there may be cost saving associated with restricted feeding. So as there is less wastage and overconsumption by the animals. The third one is it reduces risk of health issues. So by limiting the amount of food, there may be a reduced risk of health issues such as obesity and digestive problem and also metabolic disorder, since you are going to restrict their feeding. So you are going to so this is the advantages of applying restricted feeding to your animal. But there is a disadvantage. So the first one is potential stress. So animals may experience stress or frustration. So if they feel hungry but cannot eat freely, which can affect their well-being, and may lead to behavioral issues. Also, slower growth. Restricted feeding may result to slower growth rates of animal compared to ad libitum feeding, which could impact production efficiency and time to market. The last one disadvantage of restricted feeding is it requires careful monitoring and management to ensure that animals receive adequate nutrition while avoiding underfeeding or malnutrition. Is that clear, class? Okay, now, so let's proceed for the advantages and disadvantages of ad libitum feeding. The first advantages of ad libitum feeding is maximum growth potential. So, as you allows animals to eat freely, it enabling them to consume as much food as they need to support maximum growth and development. Another is, it is simplicity. Ad libitum feeding is straightforward, so to implement and requires less intensive monitoring compared to restricted feeding. Is that clear, class? Okay, so last advantages of ad libitum is animals are less likely to experience stress related to food ability. So since they can eat whenever they want, which can promote better overall welfare. So the next one is disadvantages. Risk overconsumption. So there is a risk of animal overheating, which can lead to health issues such as obesity, digestive problem, and metabolic disorder, since they are freely to eat whatever they want and whenever they want. Another disadvantage is higher feed costs. Since animals have unlimited access to food, there may be higher feed cost associated with ad libitum feeding due to increase of consumption. The last one is inconsistency of growth. So, growth rates may vary among animals, feeding to inconsistent growth patterns within the herd or flock. Is that clear, class? Okay, thank you. So, the next is advantages and disadvantages of combining two methods, which is the ad libitum and restricted feeding. So, first is the advantages. So, balanced approach. Combining both feeding methods allow for a more balanced approach to feeding, providing some control over the food intake while also allowing animals to eat freely. Next is the flexibility. So, provides flexibility in feeding management, allowing for adjustments based on factors such as animal growth, stage, health issues, and environmental condition. So, the last advantages is it optimizes growth. So, it can potentially optimize growth of animals by providing a balance between controlled feeding and ad libitum access to food. Is that clear, class? Okay, the next one is the disadvantages. Okay, so for the disadvantage of combining those two methods is first the complexity. So it requires planning and management to implement and monitor both feeding methods effectively, which may increase to labor resources and requirements. Also, the potential for inefficiency. So if you are not managed properly, there is a risk of inefficiency in terms of feed utilization. So, and growth performances, as animals may not receive optimal nutrition or may overconsume. Also, increased cost. So, implementing a combination feeding strategy may result in a higher cost compared to using just one feeding method due to the need for additional monitoring and management effort. Okay, so the next is recommended temperature for brooding. So it's important to have a recommended brooding temperature for broilers because it helps ensure their health and growth during the critical stages of their life. So as you see on the screen, and I will summary the content. Uh, Having a good temperature for brooding, it gives comfort and well-being. So just like humans, chicks you need the right temperature to feel comfortable and relax. So if it is too cold, they can get sick or even die. So if it's too hot, they can suffer from heat stress. So the recommended brooding temperature provides a healthy environment for chicks, helping them to stay healthy and happy. Also, it optimal growth. So chicks grow rapidly during the brooding period. The recommended temperature helps the optimize of their growth rate. So if the temperature is too low, their growth can be slow, leading them to delays in reaching market weight. So if it is too hot, they may eat less and grow poorly. So the right temperature ensures that the chicks eat well and grows as they should. Also, energy efficiency. So maintaining the recommended brooding temperature efficiently uses energy. So heating or cooling a brooding area is very important and very risky. So temperatures ensure that energy isn't wasted. So this important for chicken production and also for chicken cost to maximize their uh, profitability for the farmers. Okay, to make sure that you really listen class, so complete this statement. I have learned that. Okay, Miss Obeya. Thank you. Another who wants to complete this statement? Okay, Miss Miraples. Okay, very good. So it seems that you really listened to our discussion for today. So I prepared a examination for you. So everyone kindly get one part sheet of paper and answer these following questions. Okay, everybody, ballpens up. We will now check your answers. So here is the answer key. Okay, anyone who got 10? Okay, pass it forward. Who get 9 points? Okay, class, pass it forward. 8. And 7 below, please pass your paper. Okay, so for your assignment class, kindly write it to your notebook. So in a 1/2 crosswise of yellow paper, write the job requirements in poultry industry with a description. Okay, so did you copy the assignment class? Okay, so that's all our lesson for today. Goodbye class. Thank you.